Sarge, can I get yours?
I don't like to take people to jail.
What's that?
Is that a misdemeanor or a felony?
You haven't committed anything. Well,
Then I don't have to ID.
Who you are.
You guys were harassing customers.
Well, that's too bad because that's the law.
Okay.
It truly is. No, you're not educating the man.
Welcome back to the Mr. White channel, where we dive into intense confrontations over civil rights and press freedom. Today we witnessed two dramatic encounters in Bakersfield, California and Ligonier, Indiana. Two different locations, yet the same issue. Do citizens have the right to film in public without harassment? In Bakersfield, a city of over 400,000 residents, First Amendment auditors face off with postal employees and police after filming in a public area. Despite Poster 7 and the DHS Memo 2010 allowing public filming in federal facilities, police demand they leave, raising serious concerns about authority abuse and legal misinterpretation. Meanwhile, in Ligonier, Indiana, a small town with fewer than 5,000 residents, police respond to a call from the post office about a lone man filming. They attempt to demand his ID, but Indiana law is clear. Citizens are not required to identify themselves unless suspected of a crime. Who was right and who was wrong? Share your thoughts in the comments. Don't forget to subscribe to Mr. White to stay updated on civil rights issues. A big thank you to News Now California and Indiana News for capturing these moments. Be sure to visit their channels to watch the original footage.
Can I help you guys?
No thanks. No.
Why are you guys videotaping?
Just doing a little news story.
Okay. Who are you guys with?
We're just independent news journalists doing a story on where our tax dollars go and the post office.
Okay. We can't have you guys videotaping anymore.
You can't?
No, sir.
You're familiar with Poster 7 or DHS Memo?
No, sir.
You're not familiar with that?
No. No.
You want us to point out the the memo you have on your wall that allows this?
Sure.
You know where your Poster 7 is located?
I do not. No.
You know where your
You guys can't film in here.
Do you know where your Poster 7 is?
Hold it. Hold it. Stop.
What's the matter?
You can't film in
Are you
here.
okay?
Where are
We
you?
didn't authorize this. This is very disrespectful of you.
No.
But it's not against the law. It's not against the law.
No,
Here's your poster.
We don't need no disrespect. We're just covering a story, and it's our First Amendment right to do so. There's 2010 DHS memo that came out saying that we're allowed to record anywhere in public. In Poster 7, it'll explain what we're talking about.
I'm not gonna sign somewhere where you guys can't record.
Yeah, as long as we don't record anybody's personal information and stuff like that. And we know what we're doing. We did our homework before we came out here and stuff, so.
There you go.
Every day.
So, sir, do you know where the Poster 7 is located?
Okay, mister, you have not been authorized to film, so kindly...
Oh, yeah, I have.
Yeah, we have.
I have.
No, you're not authorized to
Yeah,
film.
by the Department of Homeland Security.
I did not authorize
But the Department of Homeland
I'm
Security
not
did.
obligated to answer
Your policy does not trump my
Well, we're
rights.
not asking you questions.
Okay, your rights are one thing.
You're on federal property.
No, but
Yeah, we know that. We know we're on federal property. We have the DHS. You guys follow under Department of Homeland Security, and they
What
published.
agency do you guys work for?
Well, are you going to interrupt me? I was trying to explain
just asking
something.
'cause you're-
Well, no, you're interrupting me. I was trying to tell you because you question what we're doing. If you
Yeah.
want me to finish, I'll be glad to do it. But if you want to interrupt me, then we can't have a.
on YouTube, okay? Because you have no authorization to film me and put me on YouTube.
anything that we can see in public accessible areas, it's,
No.
yeah, we can.
Yeah.
We can.
So would you like me to just explain for your edification?
I don't want to listen to it. I don't want to listen. You need to
We have
stop.
customers here, sir.
That's
We
okay.
have a customer to
We can
help
film
you.
the
Because I don't
customer.
see
Okay, that's fine, but
But we're going to respect your
Sir,
customer. We're not going to
you're next. Okay.
We're just here to educate you all.
Presumptuous. And again,
Give him your bag. So here she comes. This is signature online. This is the receipt if you need the return check delivered from the bring it back to you. Okay, just write to the this is
well, Mr. We have interlopers here, but if you would like to be waited on, come on down.
Okay.
Is address send it to
So even if we for myself, don't want
To make sure that we're able to go in public in accessible areas is the DHS.
Can you
memo
please
that
stop
allows us
the
to do
camera?
that. So, our rights, the First Amendment rights, trumps any policy from any installation that has a contract. Citizens, yeah, private citizens, yeah. So we actually have our right to use it. We respect everybody. Have fun.
And nevertheless, what they're doing is trespassing. They're doing this without any authorization.
Alright, thank you. Alright, you guys are more than free to videotape all you want.
Thank
Just don't
you.
disturb any of my customers.
Absolutely.
Yeah, no, we're
Honestly,
not
we don't
dis-
mean no disrespect, brother. It's
Yeah, yeah.
we're just educating all ourselves as private citizens, the police force, and all federal employees. We're making
Right.
sure that everybody understands that everybody needs to understand what we're here. First Amendment rights, protected activity.
Yeah, no,
Right, right.
I agree.
And I just want to
Second guy that got
and stuff like that.
a 6'8" and a backward 6 on his chest with a
Yeah,
sweat.
that's my
I
job,
mean, with-
you know?
Right,
My job
That's
is
a
to...
sweatshirt
If
with
you're not
jeans
both
on.
master,
right, right.
And they're pointing the camera.
So your employee right now is calling the police, which is fine. You know, they're gonna show up. You're aware of that then, huh?
Yeah, I'm aware of that.
Yeah, so they're gonna come.
The number
And you're not the
6'8",
postmaster,
then a
right?
No, I'm
backward
just
6
supervisor.
next to
Right,
it.
right, right.
the terrorism that
I
was
told Miss Ligonier she will bring it.
That's the one in the orange. We have one of those sleeve vests.
Yeah, orange sleeve vest,
Yeah, with
orange.
checkers.
Tell them I'm very good looking.
I told her you was old.
Old?
Yeah.
I could be older than you.
There's no need to be alarmed. There's no need to be alarmed.
Actually, I can recite the First Amendment and I'll wager you
So
can't.
they're sending
Okay,
them.
but there's no need to be alarmed, and if you would like to use
Actually,
to educate
there's
yourself a
ample
little
room
bit.
to be annoyed because this is very rude and very intrusive of you.
Everywhere you go, there's cameras.
And enough of your, no more
Everywhere you
lectures.
go, there's
Say
cameras.
nothing else, please.
We're not lecturing you, sir. We're not lecturing you.
Just
How old are you ever? How
You
the
gonna shut down?
presumptuousness of you.
Presumptuous?
You know the word, right?
That's a dance move.
It's called paranoia. That's the word.
That's a dance move.
Get you, man. You're shaking, you're paranoid, but I tell you what.
We
I
have
apologize.
no ill
That's
intent.
harassment what you're doing to him.
It is.
No,
It truly
I'm
is.
trying to educate
No,
you guys.
you're
If
not
you have the
educating the
decency-
man. You're not educating him when you're telling him that he's
Let-
paranoid. That's
Okay,
harassment.
sir, I have this here, so I'm just letting you guys know what you can and cannot do, okay? So that's what I'm bringing
Yes,
out to you.
Well,
Sure.
they're not supposed to not.
So you guys cannot film our clerks, okay?
Uh-huh,
You can come, you can film anything out here,
uh-huh.
but you cannot harass our clerks or
And
something.
that's
Okay, well, we don't mean no harassment. We don't mean
And I
harass.
understand that, but what you're doing right now is not right, okay?
That DHS has
So-
to right, you know,
We're
that
getting some help.
all policies, even in federal installations, do not trump the First Amendment.
Can you please not record?
Okay, so anything we can see in public, we can record, and we work with we have lawyers, bro. We work with a law firm, and they take care of it. You know what I mean? Making sure that we all are not pushing the boundaries too much. You know what I mean? I'm not trying to poke the beast. I'm not trying to get anyone paranoid. I'm not trying to. One of the things that I like to do is, for instance, I'll let somebody else get the interaction, and I'll talk to a disgruntled or confused citizen, just like the gentleman that was in his wheelchair. He asked me what I was doing. I told him what I was doing, and he was like, "Hmm?" Officer, how's it going? Please don't say get my good side. Please don't say get my good side.
What are you guys recording for?
I was just doing a story.
Story for what?
For our own personal use.
Alright. So what's going on?
They just came in, started recording. My clerks didn't appreciate it. And we asked them to leave, and they didn't want to leave. They had the right. Now we're here.
Okay. We're not trying to stir anybody up. We're trying to be respectful as much as possible. The gentleman's like, this guy's been cordial since the moment he talked to us. And he's still being pretty awesome, dude. But a couple of the employees inside, they got all scared and paranoid. And that's what we're trying to educate. We're trying to educate that everywhere we go, we're on camera, dude. You know what I'm saying? Everywhere we go.
So this officer,
You don't want them on your property anymore?
No, thank you.
Okay. Guys, you guys gotta take off. Alright?
So is this a lawful order?
Yes, you've been trespassed from the area.
so you're trespassing us from a public space?
Just the taping. We're not We don't appreciate it. We didn't ask for it. We didn't
Okay.
condone to it.
So the poster 7 that all the post office has that indicates that we're allowed to film in the lobby, and the Department of Homeland Security declassified memo of 2010 that was issued to every government facility, including the post office, that allows us to film in a publicly accessible area. You're negating and just say you're going to trespass us?
Don't even want to answer that.
As long as
Well,
we're-
before you
we
trespass
we have a
us,
DHS memo that says that we're allowed to do what we can do, as long as we don't violate anybody's rights, as long as we don't film anybody's personal information and stuff like that.
I'm a little late to the party, but yeah, you're correct. As long as you're not obstructing business operations,
right,
you guys
and we're not.
The information we received, which is why we're here, was that you guys were harassing customers and keeping
Okay,
people
well,
from doing their business.
okay, then I want to file a false police report on that individual that we were harassing people. We have the video. We're not harassing anybody. So you want to do that? You want to do that documentation of a false police report?
No, because it would be up to their perception if they think that you're harassing someone. So that's not exactly a...
Well, perception is one thing.
The only person that seemed like he was a little bit disgruntled was a couple of the employees in there, and they addressed us first, so we tried to address them, letting them know that there's no reason to be paranoid.
He's aware. He was in the whole conversation. He was even agreeing of the situation where I was trying to explain of the right of what you just acknowledged, the DHS memo, poster 7. They didn't want to hear about it. So they're saying, they just cut me off.
You guys aren't breaking any laws by filming.
Well, if we're not breaking any laws, then how can you trespass us? Answer me that question, officer.
And I would appreciate it, man, not to be rude or anything, but this is a...
Let him answer.
We're not how would I say it? This is a peaceful protest. So having your hand on your gun makes us feel uncomfortable. So if you'd be generous to kind of take your hand off your gun, because this is a peaceful protest, we feel unsafe by you doing that.
Having our hand like that isn't meaning that we're going to use our weapons.
Okay, so let's go back to my question, officer.
We can't exactly put our hands on our hips. That's just kind of a natural place.
Gotcha.
And it also protects if we got people walking behind us.
Right. Okay, so
kind of just a...
Right. So let me just go back to my question, since you indicated we're not breaking any laws. If we're not breaking any laws, then how are you telling us that we're going to be trespassed?
He hasn't said that. This gentleman did.
Yeah, I didn't say that. I don't know
this gentleman did.
I don't know what was going on inside. But,
Okay, so then answer the question,
Can we get
please.
your name and badge number?
Let him answer the
Can we
question.
get your name and badge number first? Officer Sheep. No, you don't tell that to the judge. If the judge asks you for your name and badge number, if I have an impairment...
So it's just a cop block thing, basically?
No, this is not a cop block. It's a First Amendment audit.
Right. So just let's just get to the question, please. Let's just focus on that.
We're not the ones.
No, let him finish
who
because
called,
he
so.
stated. No, let's back to the question. You were told
got a
us that
call
we
that
got
you
no.
guys
I got that. Let me finish the question, and we'll have the cordial conversation. Let one person speak over and not over the other. So you indicated we have to leave because we're trespassing. But this officer says we're not breaking the law. So how does that work?
Okay, well, based on the call and the stuff we have in our call,
Right.
they're saying that you're bothering customers, keeping them from going in and out of the business.
Anybody can call and say what they want to say, and then you guys are going to come hit us up.
We get it more time.
That's the problem here. See, we have proof that we didn't bother anity.
Okay,
and
so for
now, if you guys,
example,
so let's make this quick. If you're gonna trespass us, we need to see a supervisor here because we'll leave if we have to leave if there's a threat of arrest. But then not only is there going to be a threat of arrest, but there's also going to be a threat of a violation of our
We'll take a
First
look at
Amendment
your video if you want us to look at that.
No, I would actually, if you're going to trespass us like you initially stated, then I would like to get a supervisor out here and have him trespass us.
It would be the postal service that'd be trespassing.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
so it's no different if you have a house with a front yard and someone was standing in your front yard and they don't have to break any laws. You just have to, if you ask them to leave and they refuse to leave, they're trespassing.
Is that in my grass or on the sidewalk?
On your grass.
Okay,
Right.
yeah,
Well, we're not going on private property. That's a true statement.
This is public.
So-
We're on a
so
public.
it's-
We're on public.
No, I'm just showing, I'm making the connection here. So that's your private property. If you don't want someone on there, you can ask them to leave, and then we would come out at your request.
But see,
And
this is my
you know,
property.
so well, let me speak.
This is my
We were trying to have a
property, and this is
cordial
theirs.
conversation, right?
Okay.
So that would be private property, right? Now imagine a business, Starbucks or something. You could be sitting there drinking your coffee, and they just say, "I don't like that guy."
That's a
I
private
want-
business, bro.
Right. so they can ask you to leave.
Sure.
Now, the post office is a little different.
Right.
They can't exactly make you leave if you're not breaking any laws.
Right.
So as long as you're in here just sitting here filming, not harassing customers, and harassing doesn't have to mean like violently going up to people or
Right.
anything like that. If you're interfering with business operations, you're standing in the doorway and people have to walk around
Right.
you to go
Right.
do
Which we
whatever.
weren't doing.
Yeah, so if you're just gonna sit in there and film and not talk to anyone and not interfere with business operations, you're fine. So we're not here to arrest people or
Right.
make anything into
Well,
something.
that's exactly
It-
what
it
we
just
were
seems
doing,
like
officer.
You guys are kind of fishing for a response from us,
well,
and
okay,
we're not trying to do that.
That's the
okay?
misconception. Okay, let me tell you something. Me personally, we're not going to do away with cops. We get a lot of comments that say, F the cops, there's no good cops, nothing like that. I hate that, and I'll tell you why, bro. Because we're not going to get rid of the police force, okay? There's no reason, whatever we say, whatever we do, we're not going to get rid of the police force. So what we're trying to do is change the misconception and bring transparency between private citizen and the police officer. See, there's a lot of things that people don't understand. Is you work for us until we break the law, bro.
Absolutely.
You feel me? And that everybody in America needs to
We're
understand.
problem solvers.
Okay,
Someone
so check
calls
this out.
us with a problem,
Right.
and we come here to solve it, and not every time that we respond is the person who called going to be in the right.
We get
You
it.
know what I mean?
So look, okay,
so that's
so
why
check
we're
this
here.
out.
It's not like we just
So
came
a few
and,
years ago,
you know what I mean?
a few years ago, without this, you guys, he would have arrested me. But because
Not
no,
necessarily.
check it out. Because he was ready to trespass us right before he came in. He said to leave, so you guys have to leave. See, this gentleman.
Well, maybe he still is.
Okay, so check it out. So that's what we're changing, bro. And we've already made an impact. This is going on from sea to shining sea. We're not part of an organization. It's Americans waking up all over the place, brother. And we're fighting for your rights. You swore an oath, dude, to protect our rights. That's what you need to do, my friend.
That's
Straight up.
why no one's going to jail. We
That's
don't.
right, man.
I don't like to take people to jail.
Dude, I can tell you're a good officer, bro.
I'm only here because someone called,
That-
and when we get here and we get both sides, we make a determination. So at this point, you guys are free to do what you want.
Hey, let me ask you, Officer Shive and Officer Burdock, is it?
Burdick?
Burdick. So we're going to go back inside and film, and I want to know if we come out that you're going to arrest us for trespassing.
No, not if you're not.
No, like I said, you have
Okay,
to be,
that's all I
you have
wanted
to be
to know.
interfering with
Right.
the operation.
You want to come in and watch? We don't interfere. You know, he's
fine.
let me,
So in this gentleman that called,
right.
I'm
It
assuming
was a
he's the one
female.
who called. Okay. Well, whoever was standing out here.
He didn't call.
That was cool, man.
Okay. Whoever is responsible for making that decision will be made aware. Either we'll go tell him, or this guy here that was out here.
Hey, dude, we would so much appreciate it since they called.
If you go in and
if you
educate
go
her.
in-
It's
this
an
is something that
African
he's
American
done great
lady.
on his channel.
Okay.
This is something that I just recently learned how
I mean,
to
you
do.
should know. You guys should know that people just aren't comfortable being videotaped either.
Oh, dude.
because they don't know
Hey,
what's
bro,
going
hey,
on.
bro,
or,
if that was
I have
true,
numerous
your
encounters
argument
with the
should be
police,
Google
and when
it.
it's all over, they apologize. They go in, they educate them. So we would appreciate it if you would go in and explain to them that what we're doing is perfectly legal, and
Yeah.
then you
No, we
got
will.
okay.
Dude, we'll go in there. We'll go in there and videotape, not the customers, just to prove our point, and we're out of here. Dude.
Yeah,
Perfect.
right on.
All right.
You feel me though? On the Google Earth thing? Yeah, your argument, bro, should be with them, not us. We're private citizens, dude. See you guys.
Yes, sir.
So these guys here, as long as they're not interfering with business, I don't know. What do you guys call it?
Liquid perishable potential hazardous.
Either harassing customers or interfering with operations. But as long as they aren't interfering with operations, people are able to freely walk in and out of the business, and they're not filming any personal information, anything like that. If they want to stand in a corner and
Okay, now these clerks all have name tags on and pictures on.
Customer is ready.
That's person.
well, it's also
Ready for PO
Oh,
box.
the
open for the
public.
public.
Okay.
See what I
All
mean?
right.
Good.
So there are certain documents that, if I'm handing to you and it's
Yeah.
just right here, if he's over here like right on top filming it. and
But he has the
stuff
right
like
to
that.
step up in front of right in front of our.
Well, if he's standing right here and I'm a customer, for
Yeah.
example, that'd be interfering.
Yes.
If he's filming documents as they're passing and stuff, filming employees with their name tags visible, where he's wearing a name tag so that any stranger can walk in here.
It's for the public.
Right.
But now, let me ask this question. We had a customer come in when they were here, and the customer was trying to get to him, and he wanted to keep him on camera, just like he's doing right now. And I asked that he let the customer get in there and take care of their business. Now, when we all are trained, they train us to protect the customer's privacy.
Right.
Now, we have customers that walk through that door and see them with these cameras, and they turn around and walk right back out.
Yeah.
Now, what would that be?
Well, I mean, the camera in and of itself isn't a crime. So if I'm sitting here and I've got like a swastika shirt on, you know, and someone walks in and they're like, "Ooh, that looks like a creepy dude," and they walk out, you know,
that's labeling.
You know what I mean?
Okay.
So it doesn't really matter the reason for why someone might be offended or scared off. If it's a camera or a logo on my shirt or just my hairstyle, you know, if someone walks in and they're like, I don't feel comfortable with that, and they leave, that's one thing. But now if that same guy with, you know, the crazy hair or something is standing in front of the door and not letting people come in, or he's standing here and like looking at people's personal information, that's a different story. So these guys are free to film as long as they're not
under the First Amendment.
Right, as long as they're not
talking to our customers. Do they get to talk to our customers?
They can talk to them as long as they're not interfering with
while they're inside the
like
lobby.
if they ask them if they want to talk to them,
they have that right.
Yeah, but they can't say, "Hey, stop right there. I'm going to talk to you about something."
All right.
You know, you know. So you guys are free to call back if they continue to do anything like that. But in the meantime, if they're just sitting in a corner and filming.
Well, this is not a corner here. This is him got to have the camera right in my face.
I understand. And I know it's uncomfortable for...
That's very rude.
I'm not saying it's not rude, but it's not
very rude.
It's not illegal.
Okay, I have no problem with it.
But as soon as we leave, this isn't like a personal thing. I have no expectation of privacy. I get filmed all the time.
I understand you, and I appreciate your work.
Thank you.
I really do.
But as soon as we leave, if a customer comes up and they get too close, or
ask them to get the camera out of their face.
They've already been told the same thing I'm telling you. So you guys are both given the same understanding. So if it continues to be a problem, feel free to call us back. And I think, to my understanding, you guys are about wrapping up.
Right. You may want to clarify one thing with the lady when she asked about if people ask us to get the camera out of their face. You might want to clarify
because,
that.
I mean, it do get like that sometimes.
Right. As far as being in a public lobby, if they're in line.
Yeah, they have no expectation of privacy when they're in public.
Right.
Okay, so now if he put this camera in somebody's face and they tend to get a little hostile because he have the camera.
There is some.
Because people do act like that.
There is kind of a reasonableness factor to it.
Yeah.
I mean,
we're not putting a camera in anybody's face.
If he's standing like that, you know, it may make me uncomfortable, and I can ask him to stop. But ultimately, I'm the one in a public place, and now if he's like really in my face with it,
I hear you like
and it's
your
like,
head.
hey,
You're in my space.
Right. Personal space, which we don't do.
Kind of a reasonableness factor there as well. So,
you know,
I know it's uncomfortable.
It's very uncomfortable, and it's rude.
But I'm not saying it's not rude either, but it's.
But he has his right. He has First Amendment gives him the right. Well, I appreciate your service and yours too, sir.
You guys have a good one.
Okay.
Thank you.
Ma'am, can I help you right here?
All right, man. Hey.
What's your name, sir?
Just call me Good Citizen.
Good Citizen.
Yeah, you stay safe.
Okay, thank you. You know, we actually have like required briefing training that we have to do.
Right.
Every shift, every 6 months. You know, we're on a new shift, and then we have a briefing training schedule, and we have to come up with some kind of topic to tell.
Right.
And I've got one coming up. I might do it on this.
Right.
On surveillance and people's right to film and stuff. Giving me ideas, man.
Yeah. No, and appreciate you all coming out, staying safe.
Yep. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, guys.
All right. Take care.
yours.
You didn't want to give his name, badge number?
One more time for the record, can I get your name, guys?
Officer Ball.
What was the number, sir?
768.
Thank you.
In Bakersfield, California, right in the heart of a bustling city with over 400,000 residents, a tense confrontation unfolded between First Amendment auditors and law enforcement. Despite Poster 7 and the DHS Memo 2010 clearly affirming the right to film in public areas within federal buildings, police sided with postal employees, demanding that the auditors leave without providing any valid legal justification. This was not just a controversial action, it raised a critical question. Is press freedom truly protected, or is it selectively enforced? Key takeaway for you: when faced with unreasonable demands from police or government employees, staying calm is your strongest weapon. Record everything, cite the law accurately, and ask direct questions like, am I violating any law, or am I being detained? If the answer is unclear or unjustified, you have the right to continue filming and are not obligated to leave. But what happens when police not only ask you to leave, but also demand that you show your ID without any legal reason? The next video from Ligonier, Indiana, presents a classic ID refusal scenario where a lone citizen stands firm under police pressure. Will he hold his ground? Now, let's dive into the second video.
Good. How are you doing?
Good. Hey, you got some ID on you real quick?
What's that? Is that a gang sign of some kind?
No, it's identification.
For what?
The post office called, said that you're taking pictures and stuff, and they're kind of feeling uncomfortable, so we want to ID you to make sure you're okay. And
not unless I've broken a law, sir.
What's that?
Not unless I've broken a law.
Well, you're making people feel uneasy and stuff like that, so we just want to identify you to make sure everything's okay.
That'd be code 34285 3.5?
Uh-huh.
Okay. Well, when you tell me what crime I've committed, I'm obligated.
You haven't committed a crime.
Then I'm not obligated
but
to ID.
Why are you taking pictures and stuff? You're making people feel uneasy. See what I'm saying? When we get called to something, we got to serve and protect the people, right? So when they call us and they're concerned about somebody, okay? But I don't need that, okay?
My Fifth Amendment right.
Okay.
You're being live streamed.
What's that?
You're being live streamed.
That's fine.
Okay.
That's fine. You
Audio and video
record.
record. I know I can.
I'm just telling you.
I'm simply letting you know.
Okay. That's fine.
Okay. Here, you want to read it?
No, I don't need to read it. I'm just telling you why I'm here.
Then you know my Fifth Amendment.
What's that?
You know my Fifth Amendment. Okay.
Right. But when we get called a suspicious person, sir.
What? Now, is that a misdemeanor or a felony, sir?
What's that?
Is that a misdemeanor or a felony?
You haven't committed anything. But I'm just trying to figure
I don't
out
have to ID
who you are.
You can call me good citizen. You can call me whatever you want. You can call me bright guy with a camera. I'm not hiding in the bushes.
I didn't say you were hiding in the bushes.
Well, I don't know what they said.
Well, they called concerned, okay?
Well, that's their fears don't trump my rights. Are we in agreement with that?
No.
Okay. Well, that's too bad because that's the law.
Okay. Well,
I know the law and so do you. We both know the law. And that failure to ID law only pertains to if I've committed a misdemeanor or felony.
What are you doing taking pictures?
I don't answer questions.
Okay.
I have a right not to.
All right. You have a good day, sir, okay?
Thank you.
The incidents in Bakersfield, California and Ligonier, Indiana reveal a troubling reality. Are civil rights truly respected when confronted with government suspicion? In Bakersfield, a bustling city with over 400,000 residents, a group of First Amendment auditors filmed in a public area of a post office. Despite Poster 7 and the DHS Memo 2010 clearly affirming the right to record in federal facilities, police demanded that they leave without solid legal justification. This is a prime example of how press freedom can be misinterpreted or ignored under pressure from government institutions. Meanwhile, in Ligonier, Indiana, a small town with fewer than 5,000 residents, a lone citizen faced police scrutiny simply for filming outside a building. Even though he had committed no crime, officers insisted on seeing his ID because some people felt uncomfortable. However, Indiana law is clear. Citizens are not required to provide identification unless they are suspected of a crime. By standing firm and knowing his rights, the videographer successfully challenged law enforcement and forced them to back down without violating his legal protections. Key takeaway: knowing your rights is the best way to protect yourself. If you are confronted by police, always remember, stay calm and do not provide unnecessary personal information. Record the entire interaction. Evidence is your strongest defense. Ask clear questions. Am I violating any laws, or am I being detained? Understand your state laws on filming and ID refusal to avoid being unlawfully pressured. What do you think about these incidents? Did the police uphold the law, or did they overstep their authority? Share your thoughts in the comments below. Don't forget to subscribe to Mr. White to stay updated on the latest videos about civil rights and how to protect yourself in legal encounters.